What up, everybody? Everybody! All my peoples, one more again. Yeah! All my peoples, one more again. Alright, that's pretty exciting. Welcome to knife video number dos, okay? Now, don't get it twisted. Look at each hand individually. Here's a 2, here's a 2. This is not knife video number 4. It's knife video number 2. If we're lucky enough, I'll be around, and you'll be around, and I'll have enough knives and gear for 4 videos. If anybody watches, if you don't, that's okay. Now, I changed my shirt. I'm a dark timber kind of guy, and I like wearing that shirt, but today I'm going to represent another Facebook group I'm a part of that I enjoy being a part of, an online, international, enormous community of lovely people who have an obsession with axes. And that's Axe Junkies. So, I'm going to help you read it. Axe Junkies, okay? Sometimes it can be difficult. Just go slow, sound it out. It's important that you don't just read the first few letters and guess at the rest of the word. It doesn't work that way. So, the first video was, of course, on the OG Grizzly. Peter Kohler Dark Timber Knives. Fantastic knife. You should buy one. But like I said in the first video, I don't know Peter. I think he's a great guy. Watch his videos, watch his live feeds the best I can, and man, I like that guy, but I've never met him. So today, in contrast to that, I'm going to talk about a knife from a guy that I have sat down at the table with, that I have had a conversation with, whose company I have enjoyed personally, and that would be David Anthony Corona at Aerosknives. Now, let's look at the OG Grizz again, okay? This represents Peter Kohler, who's had a long, hard road as a knife maker, trying to break through the ceiling and come into the radar of the knife community. Now, we all know that Peter's a fantastic, just an amazing knifesmith, bladesmith. I think that's probably the proper term. And it's unfortunate that for a long time that he went unknown. Well, David Anthony Corona is another unknown. He's probably only been forging knives independently on his own as a business for a little over a year, I'd say. I could be right, I could be wrong. Don't trust me. Just watch the video. Don't trust me. Alright, this is a knife that I had commissioned David to build. We talked about the design, what I wanted, what I was looking for, what I needed. And after discussing all that stuff, he drew it up. I didn't like it. So we went from there and we talked about a few more things. And then we ended up with this bad boy. Okay? Now, David has a name for this knife. This was the first one that he made, kind of built around what I had, envisioned, and it's turned out pretty well. Now, he named it something. It starts with a C. I can't tell you what it is because I can't remember. And even if I could remember, I promise you I couldn't pronounce it. And I'm not going to call up David and be like, hey bro, what do you call this knife? How you pronounce that? Because I really just don't know. Alright, that would just be dumb. So, this is a knife. And this is a heck of a knife. Let's do a comparison here. Okay? A lot of us know the OG Grizz, or those of us that saw the last video do. You can see that David's knife at Arrows is a little bit bigger, right? It's probably about an inch taller. It's got a little more blade height, a different style, belly. This has a saber grind. David's knife is more of a flat grind. I'd call the blade on David's knife about 9 inches. And of course the Grizzly is about 8. So all in all, it's really only about an inch taller. So you're looking at 13 inches with the Grizzly compared to 14 inches with with the Aerosknives. However, although being a longer knife with more blade height, it's actually quite a bit lighter. And the difference really comes in with, this is a significant saber grind. This adds a lot of weight, as we discussed. They're both 1/4 inch, but between the saber grind and this, what it would be for the most part a flat grind, along with David's really awesome signature chisel marks, you lose some weight. And so it's really not girthy, it's not heavy, it's not cumbersome, it's not, it's well balanced. It's a great knife. So along with what you'll see here, these chisel marks, which I really think is a really nice stroke of artistry. I like it. Every artist should make it their own. They should have their own little niche. They should have their own signature appeal. So this is David's. Along with this maker's mark, I don't know if you can see it, but that's really awesome. That's a really well done. It's super clean. It looks great. I'd asked him how he did it. Don't ask me to repeat it because I can't remember. I think he said something about acetone and after that and a stamp. No. Beyond that, no idea. So the difference, how I had him do this knife is I wanted something longer. I wanted a choil. And I wanted a choil that was higher up. So I asked for this. I know in the last video I talked about Peter's production choil being farther down, as you can see, and being deeper set, as opposed to knives, even on some of Peter's knives, where the choil was farther up and maybe a little further out from the middle finger. I asked for this, and it still feels great. It's still very useful. It's still comfortable. I don't see how you can have a large knife without a choil. Now, if you're not running a one-tool option, if you're going to carry multiple knives, you don't need the choil. Okay? If you're just going to it's a big knife, it's a chopper, it's a splitter, that's great. You don't really need it. But if you're going to do both large tasks and small, finer tasks with a large knife, a one-tool option, yeah, in my opinion, you gotta have this choil. You gotta have it. The difference is, man, my hand is way down here, so my fulcrum is here, versus having the choil and being able to come up further on the blade, but not just that, but have your thumb, and you're really covering, half of the knife. So, I don't see what the big fuss is about choils in that respect. Some people hate them. I think they're just a bunch of butthole purists. Not butthole purists, although that may be the case. I think butthurt is probably the better word. Butthurt purists. And there's nothing wrong with that. You may like whatever knives that you like, okay? Just keep your complaining to yourself. This is a great knife. I've had it out every bit as much as the Grizzly. Actually, I've had it out more because I received it months prior to. And everything that I have done with the Grizzly, I've done with this. I've taken it out, I've done shavings, I've done feather sticks, I've done notching. I've batoned with it. Again, the one-tool option. That's what I do with my knives. If your knife can't handle a baton, you just need to get rid of it. It's nonsense. It's a piece of steel versus a piece of wood. And while there are nuances within that dynamic, your knife should be able to handle it, okay? Don't try to jam it through a big knotted piece of frozen pine. Brother, that would be a bad idea, okay? You can maybe nip off the side of it a little bit if you want, but you gotta use your noodle, okay? But far and away, steel versus wood, you're gonna bust through 98% of the things with no problem. The other 2%, that's up to you. I've taken this out, I've cleaned some game with it, I chopped the head off of a couple possums in a glorious affair. You might not like that, but honestly, I ain't gonna eat the face of a possum. That's gross. I know some people want to boil it and you know, put some shaving cream on and a hot towel and play some soft music while they shave them down, but that's not my thing, okay? I'm not gonna have the head as a centerpiece of the meal. I'm just gonna, meat is meat. I'm gonna throw it in the crock pot and I'm going to dine in candlelight. Alright, with my lady friends that I don't have. So, I've done all this stuff with this knife, with this choil that's different than the OG Grizzly, with this handle that's different than the OG Grizzly, and I have thoroughly enjoyed it. Let me talk about this handle. This is Ohio Buckeye Burl. Ohio, represent. I say OH, you say. Alright, maybe you got that right, maybe you got that wrong. Maybe you're a Michigan fan, and for that, there is no mercy for your soul. Ohio Buckeye Burl. David's from Ohio, lives out in the boonies by the Ohio River on the east side. And I'm from Ohio. So that's at least 1.5 good things that Ohio has going for it, though I do not live there any longer. When I ordered this, you know, I was very clear that I wanted this arch spine because I don't like 90-degree straight spines. I mean, on a smaller knife, they're not nearly as bad. On a larger knife, I find you just need that natural curve, just natural curvature. I think it's a more comfortable, more useful thing. And like I said, I think natural is just a good word for that. I'm not a swedge fan. But I asked for this swedge, a rounded swedge, just because I thought it may add a little bit of a look for it. You know, I do a lot of push cuts, like everyone, right? And you know, I don't want the swedge to be uncomfortable. Some people have a serious swedge, and they can be uncomfortable, and that's just not a woods knife, okay? That's a stabbing knife, okay? I'm not stabbing things. So, although it looks like there's something up there, that's mostly just looks for style points. You know, like I said, I can put my thumb up against there. He did a really great job on the choil. Not the choil, on the swedge. So, David Anthony, kind of under the radar, and you know, like when Peter broke into the radar of the knife community with Chris Tanner's Grizzly product review with his video, I don't anticipate that I'm going to do anything significant for David, for Aerosknives here with this video. But, you know, there's not a lot of videos for the OG Grizz. And Peter has a huge following, okay? Now, there's virtually zero. I think I saw one Aerosknife video on YouTube. And I don't know how big David's following is. I know he's not been doing it for very long, and I want to put this out there because this is artistry. This is functional art. This is beautiful. This will get you out in the woods with style points, and it will do everything that you're wanting it to do. It's got a really great handle. I think it looks fantastic. So I think that you should buy one of these. Not this one, because it's not for sale, because I'm not that broke, although I'm getting there. I felt bad, if I'm looking at this mirror polish, I felt bad that David went through all the work to do that. I kind of thought it might be a bit unnecessary work because I'm just not that refined, and it just seemed like mirror polish might not be my thing. I like a good patina. I think that looks really good, but he had to spend a lot of time on this, and I kind of felt bad for him, but once I got it, I didn't feel bad for him anymore because it really grew on me. You know, I was worried a little bit that it might not last, it might not hold up, which doesn't really make any sense, you know, just in theory. But he said you'll be surprised at its durability, and he was right. It's super durable. So I think you should get you one. Okay, this will do everything that you want it to do. This is a great one-tool option. Some of you guys are smaller knives. Okay, you like smaller knives? Don't get this one. David makes a lot of knives. A lot of knives. Okay, big knives, small knives, two-handed swords. Okay, whatever you want, David can make it for you. This is a great knife for a one-tool option. 9 inches with a solid choil. A great design. You can tweak it. You can adjust it. You can do whatever you want, but you can't have this one. Okay, so do yourself a favor. Get in contact with David Anthony Corona at Aerosknives and order you one, or order you two. I'll tell you that everything I know about David, David's a stand-up dude. He said 60 to 90 days at the most. He doesn't really book too much beyond that because he gets nervous, he says. He had some personal concerns with, I believe there's a death in the family where this did not get done in 90 days. All right? He told me about it. He contacted me about it. He came to me about it beforehand, letting me know what was going on. All right? So this was before the 90-day mark. Before I started getting anxious, before I started getting the shakes about staring out the window waiting for my new knife to come. And he let me know what was happening. And I mean, you can't complain about that. There's nothing wrong with that. You know what? Because you see this? That's just a thing, all right? Family comes first. Family always comes first. And I'm not going to fault a guy for, number one, communicating it straight with me ahead of time. And then putting my stuff on the back burner to take care of real-life family concerns. So, David, love what you're doing. Love it. Keep doing it. I hope you get a lot of customers. I hope you make a lot of fantastic knives. I like to support, I like to say the little guy. I like to support the underdog, the little guy. Really, I just like to support the guy following his passion. You know, David left the knife industry to pursue it on his own, and he's doing well. And I want to see him do better. And I want to see him provide for his family, and I want to see him do well enough where he can take a few days off and run his son out into the woods and show him some more fire skills and teach him about the outdoors. And I support all of that. I want him to be able to do that. I want him to live his life's dream and to spend time with his family, quality time with his family. Not just quality, but quantity as well. So, support David Anthony Corona at Aerosknives. This is a fantastic, beautiful, working man's tool. Right? Cut the head off the possums, and you can't go wrong with that. So, I will put a description in the bottom. It's Aerosknives, A-E-R-O-S Knives. David Anthony Corona. You can contact him via Messenger, via Facebook, and then you can work out the 2, 3, 4 knives that you plan on buying from him. All of them reasonably priced. David does great work, and he is a peach to deal with. So there you have it. Number 2. Exciting. I don't know about that. So like it, don't like it, thumbs up, thumbs down, leave a good comment, leave a rude one. I'm not trying to make money off this or make a living off of it, although that would be great. But honestly, I'm just a guy sitting here alone talking to a camera because I don't have that much going on today. So you guys enjoy. Peace out. Couple dance moves for the ladies. All right, go buy a knife and get outside.